"Don't embarrass me at my cousin's wedding," she ordered, then tried to sit me at a different table so her male best friend could take my spot. I left quietly. By the time I reached my car, she'd left 6 voicemails, each one more frantic, sobbing that she didn't mean it like that and begging me to please just talk. Hey Reddit, before we move on to the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you want to see more stories like this. Thanks. Hey Reddit, I need to get this off my chest. It's been a few months, and looking back, it's almost funny how blind I was. But at the time, it stung like hell. I'm 28, work as an IT consultant, and I've always prided myself on being the steady, reliable guy in relationships. My girlfriend, ex now, Sarah, 27, is a graphic designer. We've been together for 2 years, living in a cozy apartment in a mid-sized city, or at least I thought we were building something real. From the start, I was all in. Sarah had lost her job right after we started dating. Seriously, some freelance gig that dried up overnight? I didn't hesitate. I covered rent for a few months, helped her update her portfolio, even worked with some contacts to get her interviews. She landed a decent position eventually, and things seemed great. I sacrificed a lot without complaint. Like last year, my buddies planned a weekend trip to the mountains. Hiking, beers, the works. I bailed to help Sarah move her stuff into my place when she got evicted from her old apartment. No big deal. I told myself that's what you do for someone you love. We talked about the future too. Marriage someday, maybe kids. I wasn't rushing, but I made it clear I was committed. Sarah always said she appreciated my stability. "You're my rock, Alex," she'd say after a tough day. But looking back, there were red flags I ignored. She had this male best friend, Jake, who'd been in her life since college. He was a salesman, always flashing that charismatic grin, posting about his adventures on social media. Sarah swore it was platonic, but she'd light up when he texted, and they'd hang out one-on-one more than I was comfortable with. I'd bring it up gently, and she'd brush it off. "You're being paranoid. Jake's like a brother." It escalated subtly. Sarah started comparing us. "Jake's so outgoing. He always knows how to work a room," she'd say after a party where I hung back, not being the loudest guy there. Or, "Why can't you be more spontaneous like Jake? He surprised me with tickets to that concert last week." I'd swallow it, thinking I was overreacting, but it chipped away at me. Then came her posts online. Pictures of her and Jake at coffee shops or events, captions like, "Best times with my favorite adventure buddy," a glowing star, no mention of me, even though I'd been the one paying for half of her adventures. The real kicker was her cousin's wedding. It was a big family affair at this charming venue in a small town about an hour away. Outdoor ceremony, fancy reception hall with string lights and all that. Sarah was buzzing about it for weeks. She was close to her cousin, and it was a chance to show off, I guess. I was excited too. I'd met her family a few times, and they seemed to like me. I rented a nice suit, got her a thoughtful gift for the couple, and even practiced a few dance moves since she loved dancing. But as the day approached, Sarah got weird. She'd snap at little things, like if I suggested an outfit. "Don't wear that tie, it looks too stuffy." And Jake was coming. "Of course, he's family friends too," she explained. "Fine, whatever." The morning of, we're getting ready, and she's on her phone constantly giggling at messages. I peek over, it's Jake, sending memes about weddings. I let it go. We arrive, and the ceremony's beautiful. Sarah's all smiles, holding my hand, but afterward, at the cocktail hour, she pulls me aside. Her tone shifts. Smug, almost, like she's talking to a kid. "Listen, Alex." She glances around to make sure no one's listening. "Don't embarrass me tonight. Okay? This is a big deal for my family. Jake's great at mingling. He knows how to charm everyone. Just try to blend in." I blink, feeling a knot in my stomach. "What do you mean, embarrass you? I'm here to support you." She rolls her eyes, that dismissive smirk creeping in. "You know what I mean. Your job stories are kind of boring, IT stuff doesn't exactly light up a party, and you're so quiet sometimes. Jake's got these hilarious sales anecdotes. People eat it up. Just don't monopolize conversations, all right? Let him take the lead if we're with my aunts and uncles." Her words hit like a slap. I'd spend hours listening to her vent about work, hyping her up, and now I'm the boring one? But I nod, biting my tongue. Sure, whatever makes you happy. The reception starts, and we're assigned to a table with her immediate family. Parents, siblings, the works. Prime spot near the dance floor. I'm chatting politely with her mom when Sarah waves me over urgently. Jake's standing there, looking sharp, grinning like he owns the place. "Alex, babe," Sarah says, her voice low but firm. "There's been a mix-up with seating. Jake's supposed to be at a crappy table in the back. Can you switch with him? He fits better here. My family loves him. You won't mind, right? It's just for dinner." I'm stunned. The table's full. Her parents, brother, aunts. Switching means I'm demoted to some random spot with strangers while Jake plays the charming +1. Publicly. Her family would notice. "Sarah, that's our table. I'm your boyfriend. Why does Jake need to be there instead?" She sighs, exasperated, like I'm the unreasonable one. "Come on, don't make this a thing. Jake's outgoing. He'll keep things lively. You're introverted. It's not a big deal. It's one night. Plus, he's been through a rough breakup. He could use the family vibe. You'll be fine at the other table. Just go with it." Her logic twists like a pretzel. I'm her partner, but Jake's the one who fits. And throwing in his rough breakup as if that justifies sidelining me, she's smug about it too, like she's doing me a favor by explaining. "Seriously, Alex," she presses, crossing her arms, "don't be selfish. This is my cousin's wedding. It's about family. Jake's practically family. You'll survive a couple hours alone." I feel the heat rising, but I don't yell. Her family glances over curiously. Jake just stands there, smirking faintly, like he knows he's won this round. "If that's how you feel," I say calmly, my voice steady, "then enjoy the night." I turned and walked away, weaving through the tables without looking back. No begging, no scene, just detachment. By the time I reached the parking lot, my phone's vibrating non-stop. 6 voicemails already, each more frantic than the last. But I don't listen yet. I start the car and drive home in silence, the confusion swirling. Why was I always the backup, the one who got pushed aside for excitement? It hurt deep down, but I wouldn't chase her. Not anymore. That drive home was the longest hour of my life. The highway blurred under the streetlights, and I kept replaying the scene in my head, the way Sarah's eyes flicked to Jake like he was the prize, her casual dismissal like I was some interchangeable accessory. Why had I put up with it for so long? The comparisons, the subtle digs, the way she'd make plans with him first and loop me in as an afterthought. I'd convinced myself it was insecurity on my part, that real commitment meant overlooking the small stuff. But this wasn't small. This was her choosing to humiliate me in front of her family at a wedding, of all places, where vows and loyalty are supposed to mean something. I didn't cry or rage. I just felt this heavy numbness settle in, like I'd finally seen the truth I'd been avoiding. By the time I pulled into my apartment parking lot, my phone had blown up. Texts first. "Alex, where are you?" Then, "This is ridiculous, come back." And finally the voicemails. I sat in the car and played them one by one, the engine still running. The first, "Babe, what the hell? You just left. I didn't mean it like that. Jake's just better at social stuff. Call me back." Second, "Okay, fine, be mad, but you're ruining the night for me. My family is asking where you went. This is embarrassing." Third, her voice cracking a bit, "Alex, please, I get it. You're upset, but it's not a big deal. Jake's sitting here now, but it's whatever. Just talk to me." Fourth, more urgent, background music from the reception fading. "I'm sorry if it came out wrong. You know I love you. Don't do this. Come back, or at least pick up." 5th, sniffling now. Why are you ignoring me? This hurts. I didn't think you'd overreact like this. Please, just talk. 6th, full sobs. Alex, I'm freaking out. What if you got in an accident? Call me. I need to know you're okay. I'm messed up. Okay? Begging you. It was a progression from annoyed to apologetic to desperate. But listening to them, I realized something. She wasn't sorry for hurting me. She was sorry the night wasn't going perfectly, that her perfect image was cracking. No mention of how I'd felt sidelined, no real acknowledgement. I deleted them all, turned off my phone, and went inside. That night I packed a bag with essentials, clothes, laptop, toiletries, and crashed at a cheap motel nearby. Didn't want to deal with her coming home drunk and dramatic. The next morning, I unblocked her long enough to send one text. We're done. I'll move my stuff out this week. Don't contact me. Then blocked again. No explanations, no arguments. I called in sick to work, but really I used the day to reflect. I hit the gym, something I'd slacked on because Sarah always wanted couple time instead. Pushed through a brutal workout, sweat pouring, mind clearing. Why had I sacrificed so much? The skipped trips, the extra shifts to cover her bills, the way I dimmed my own light to let her shine. It wasn't love. It was me being a doormat. Over the next few days, I kept my head down, rented a storage unit, moved my things out bit by bit while she was at work, changed the locks on what was now fully my apartment. Our lease was in my name anyway, since I'd been the stable one. I didn't post about it online, didn't vent to mutual friends, just detached, disappeared from her world. Work became my focus. I threw myself into a big project, even asked for overtime. Started hiking on weekends, something I'd loved before her but set aside. The confusion faded into clarity. This betrayal was a gift. It freed me. I heard bits through the grapevine, mutual acquaintances who didn't know we'd split yet. Sarah partied hard at the wedding after I left, dancing with Jake all night, posting stories like nothing happened. Best night ever, family vibes. Woman dancing with Jake, tagged prominently. But cracks showed. Even then, apparently, a friend mentioned Jake got too handsy on the dance floor, and Sarah laughed it off, but her cousin pulled her aside, whispering concerns. Then, karma started rolling in, slow at first, like a storm building. About a week later, I got a neutral update from a buddy who'd been at the wedding. Jake and Sarah had a blowout fight a few days post-event. Turns out, Jake wasn't just her best friend. He'd been flirting heavily, using the wedding as a networking op for his sales gigs. He'd schmoozed her family for leads, got a couple of intros, then ghosted her when she pushed for more. But it got uglier. During their argument, he blew up, called her clingy, unstable, said he'd only hung around because she got him into events like that. Abusive texts leaked somehow. A screenshot made the rounds in their circle. "You're fun for a night, but you're too much drama," he'd written. "Stick with your boring boyfriend if you want stability." Sarah unraveled fast. She called in sick from work multiple times, tanking a big client project. Her boss put her on probation. Her family, who'd I'd always gotten along with, apparently chewed her out. How could you treat Alex like that? He was good to you. Her cousin unfollowed her online after the drama spilled over. Friends distanced themselves too. Mutual ones reached out to me quietly, saying they'd seen the red flags with Jake, but Sarah wouldn't listen. "She posted that stuff knowing it hurt you," one said. "We're sorry we didn't say anything sooner." She ended up isolated, crashing on her brother's couch after I wouldn't let her back in the apartment. Overspent on retail therapy and bar tabs, racking up credit card debt. Her social media went dark, then sporadic vague posts about learning from mistakes that screamed regret. It was almost poetic. She'd worried about me embarrassing her, but her choices made her the family pariah. Jake, he moved on to some new friend, posting about his latest conquest like nothing happened. Unstable as ever from what I heard, bounced from job to job, always chasing the next high. I didn't gloat, didn't seek it out, but hearing it confirmed what I'd started to build, a life without her toxicity. Gym routine stuck, work promotion came through, and I even started dating casually. No rush, just enjoying my freedom. The unfairness of it all lingered for a bit. That quiet ache of, why me? But sitting with it, letting the silence heal, turned it into strength. She was the storm, I was the calm after. Of course, she didn't stop at those initial voicemails. If anything, they were just the opening act in her desperate symphony. The first week after the wedding, I kept my phone on silent, focusing on rebuilding, but she found ways around the block. Burner apps, email, even LinkedIn messages. It started semi-civil, like she was testing the waters. One evening, about 10 days in, my phone rang from an unknown number. I let it go to voicemail, but curiosity got me. It was her, voice shaky but still trying to play it cool. "Alex, it's me. I know you're mad, but we need to talk. That seating thing was stupid. I was stressed about the wedding, okay? Jake is just a friend. He means nothing. You overreacted by leaving like that. Call me back so we can fix this." Fix this? As if her public demotion of me was a minor glitch. I deleted it. But then the texts rolled in from her friends, people I'd met a handful of times, suddenly acting like mediators. One from her bestie, Mia. "Hey, Alex, Sarah's a mess. She didn't mean to hurt you. Jake's an ass, but give her a chance to explain. You two are great together." Another from her brother. "Dude, my sister's crying nonstop. Family's pissed at her too. But come on, don't ghost. Let's grab a beer and hash it out." Her family got involved next, and that's when it turned unpleasant. Her mom called from her landline. I recognized the area code. I picked up, thinking it might be an emergency. But nope. "Alex, this is ridiculous," she started, her tone sharp and accusatory, like I'd been the one causing drama. "Sarah told me what happened. Switching seats? That's nothing to end a relationship over. You're being childish. She's sorry. Come over for dinner and talk it out. We all make mistakes." I stayed calm. "With all due respect, your daughter made her choices. I'm moving on." She huffed. "Moving on? After everything she's been through? Jake was just being friendly. You're throwing away 2 years over jealousy. Think about her feelings." Her feelings. Not a word about mine. I hung up, blocked the number. Sarah's aunt messaged me on social media next. Toxic as hell. Guilting me with family loyalty. "Blood is thicker than water, Alex. Sarah needs you. Don't be the villain here." It escalated from there. Sarah showed up at my apartment unannounced one night, banging on the door. I didn't open it, but I could hear her through the wood. "Alex, I know you're in there. Please open up. I messed up big time. Jake's a jerk. He ditched me after the wedding. Said I was too emotional. I see that now. You were right about him. Let's just talk. I miss you. We can go back to how things were." How things were. Me is the backup plan. I said nothing, waited her out. She lingered for 20 minutes, alternating between pleas and sobs, before leaving. A few days later, the anger kicked in. Another call from a new number. Her again. But this time, the desperation had soured into rage. "You think you can just ignore me after all I've put up with? Your boring routines, your safe little life? I chose you anyway, and now you're acting like I'm the bad guy. Jake was a mistake, but you're the one overreacting. How dare you block me? Pick up or I'll show up at your work. We need to settle this." Her true colors shining through, hypocritical, entitled, twisting it so I was the problem. She justified sidelining me with, "It's not a big deal." But now my silence was unforgivable. I saved the voicemail just in case, but didn't respond. Her attempts peaked with a long email, rambling about how she'd grown from this, admitting Jake had crossed lines but blaming stress, her family, even me for not speaking up sooner. "I deserve a second chance," she wrote. "Don't you still love me?" No, I didn't. And that realization was freeing. Her desperation only confirmed I'd dodged a bullet. Friends told me she was spiraling more, lost a freelance gig because she ghosted a deadline, spent nights out trying to forget but ending up alone. Her family backed off, after I politely told her brother to stop. Even they saw her hypocrisy now. It all culminated about 2 months later at a mutual friend's birthday party. I'd debated skipping it, small gathering at a local bar, low-key, but I'd reconnected with old buddies and life was good. I'd gotten that promotion at work, leading a team now with a nice pay bump. Hit the gym consistently, dropped some weight, felt sharper. And yeah, I'd started seeing someone new. Emily, a marketing coordinator I'd met through a hiking group. No drama, just mutual respect. She valued my stability, laughed at my boring IT jokes. We weren't serious yet, but it felt right. I walked in with Emily on my arm, and there was Sarah, crashing the party uninvited, I later learned. She spotted me immediately, eyes widening. She looked rough, hair unkempt, forced smile. She approached us during a lull, voice trembling but trying for composure. "Alex, hey, can we talk privately?" Emily glanced at me curiously, but I shook my head. "No need, Sarah. Enjoy the party." She pressed on, desperate now, ignoring Emily. "I've been a wreck. Jake was abusive, yelled at me, ghosted after using me for intros at the wedding. I lost friends. My job's on thin ice. I realized what I had with you. I was stupid, smug. Let me make it up. We can start over." Her words dripped hypocrisy, admitting the cruelty but still centering herself. I stayed firm, voice even, no sympathy. "You made your priorities clear that night. Jake fits better, remember? Your logic then applies now. I found what fits me. Emily and I are building something real. You're irrelevant to that." She flushed, glancing at Emily, who stood there supportively. The power flip was obvious. Me thriving, her desperate. "But I love you. Doesn't that mean anything?" I met her eyes, indifferent. "It means you've learned a lesson. But my life's moved on. Focus on yours." She stammered, tears welling, then turned away, muttering something angry under her breath. Left the party early from what I heard. I didn't think about her after that. Danced with Emily, laughed with friends, blocked her everywhere for good. Update. It's been a few months since the party. Last I heard through the grapevine, Sarah's still single, switched jobs to something entry-level, and her family's keeping distance after the full story came out. Me? Promotion's going great. Emily and I are official now, planning a trip. No drama. That wedding betrayal, it feels like ancient history. I walked away with dignity, and karma did the rest. What do you think, Reddit? Did I handle it right?